Ladies and gentlemen, this is Prowsul, and this is WWE Raw Review for the 17th of February 2014. Now, what a damn show. What a damn show it was. What a show. Just for the record for everybody, this is a spoiler-filled review. Therefore, I will just basically tell you that if you don't want to know the results, I would give you my opinion right now, in general, and you want to watch this WWE Raw, then what I would suggest is go and watch it, because it was damn good. That is for sure, because it was so jam-packed, so much stuff happened. It was all over the place, but a lot of stuff is happening and is for the better of professional wrestling mankind. Not mankind as in the wrestler mankind, I mean in general all of us. And okay, so starting from now, I would suggest you to switch this off, because this is going to be spoiler filled review. Okay, so straight out of nowhere, who comes first? I would have thought it'd been Triple H, Stephanie, but it was not. It was not. It was John Cena. He talked a bunch of poo-poo and carried on talking. It was like just the same thing as usual. John Cena talking, people cheering him, people hating him, and he just loves it being in the middle. And then suddenly out of nowhere, Cesaro comes down. And then Cesaro says, "We the people," and cuts a little bit of a promo. And then John Cena starts to stick it to him, saying that, the reason that you beat, that just because you beat Randy Orton, that doesn't mean that, you're better as a human being, as a wrestler. It means that Randy Orton is on a losing streak. Well, if that's the case, that just diminishes your victory then, doesn't it, John? But Cesaro, I think he just held back because he's getting a push, it looks like it to me. I think this is the push that CM Punk was supposed to give Cesaro. However, looks like John Cena is doing the favor as of now. But then Cesaro got a little bit more opportunity to talk, and by saying that stop patronizing, and then suddenly out of nowhere Sheamus came down in his Irish accent and talked Irish for about 10 to 30 seconds, saying that he's gonna kick both of their heads off, which will be bloody well good to see. I love to see Sheamus fight. Oh yeah, he likes to fight, yeah. So he came out, talked for a second, and guess what? Just as we thought, someone else was gonna come out, and who would it be? It would be another person who was gonna be in the Elimination Chamber. It was Christian, and he said, "Oh, Sheamus, how dare you, my friend? You beheaded me with that kick on SmackDown. Why dare you do that, man?" And then, guess who else came down? I thought he would be last, but it wasn't. It was Randy Orton came down, and Randy Orton came down and started to bore us all. Yes, he just started to say that, how he's gonna beat everybody. Then suddenly out of nowhere, it was Daniel Bryan. He came down and gave his wonderful promo of yes, 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 because quite frankly, that's all we needed with Daniel Bryan was yes, yes. And then I don't know where Kane came down. And that was very, very good. Kane came down and then said that due to the mishap that he had a week or two ago, he was going to get the opportunity to be the to be basically in charge of Raw tonight. And the matches that he presented were that John Cena would be facing Cesaro. Sheamus would be facing Randy Orton, obviously, because he was the last one out of the guys who's Randy Orton, who has not faced. And then finally, Christian versus Daniel Bryan. Now this match, I have to say, was sorry, just for the second. Kane said that basically the match was starting from now, and quite frankly, it started. And I have to say, this was a good match. It was a great match to see. I never thought that. I know Christian has been a heel in the past, but he has done a good job on SmackDown. I do think he is underrated. I do think he's underutilized as well. When he was in TNA wrestling, I remember them periods when he was there, and he was brilliant in there in terms of his way he was talking. His mic skills were absolutely amazing, to say the least. And him and his peeps, that was what he was all about. And he started to do the heel turn as of that period against Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan is obviously the babyface. And it was a very physical match. It was an interesting match to see, and a very tough match. And I think it was a backwards slide where I can't remember what move it was, but basically Daniel Bryan won that match. It was a great match to see, and very physical match. But then straight out of the bat, Kane decided that basically that he forgot about that he was going to be fighting Daniel Bryan next, straight after Christian. Therefore, Kane started beating on Daniel Bryan, and it just became a beat-on fight. It wasn't anything interesting. It was what you were expecting, because quite frankly, this is kind of like good versus evil, and this is what we want to see when it comes to good drama, especially with Daniel Bryan, because he's been oppressed so much. Will he ever get that title? Will he ever get the World Championship? Who knows? And it will be good to see if he does, because quite frankly, he has just worked and worked and worked and worked and worked and worked and worked. But is he going to get that title? We all want to see it, and the more that they push it away from us, the more we want to actually see him win. And I think they've got something there, the WWE. They've got something there for sure. But even if Daniel Bryan does win, in my opinion, I think he can definitely carry the title for a long period of time. I definitely think so. I think he's got that pizzazz of the Ultimate Warrior, in my opinion, where he just goes out and just goes for it full speed ahead. And I think he can definitely carry the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. But I don't think they're ever going to give him the title. That's just the way it's going to be going. Obviously, Kane vs Daniel Bryan, that ended up in a disqualification, and Daniel Bryan ended up hurt because obviously, well, not obviously, because you don't know. Daniel Bryan's shoulder was almost separated when he was when Kane hit him on the steel steps, and quite frankly, it was a good segment, because Kane said, "Oh yes, I know, I'm disqualified, aren't I?" and carried on walking out, and that was it. Then came the Shield with a promo. What a promo it was! It was a good promo. You could tell that the way that they built it up again, showing that they've got some dissension between the Shield, where Dean Ambrose is saying, you know what, I put a beating on Mark Henry, and Roman Reigns is saying, come on, man, you know, really, you're gonna lose that match, man, come on, don't, you know, and then Seth Rollins basically intervened and said that whatever happens, we've not got our eyes off the prize, and we are gonna win. And basically, it's gonna be a big barn burner. I don't know if that's the actual word, what I should say, but it is going to be an amazing match in Elimination Chamber. The Shield versus the Wyatts. I think that both of them definitely built it, and he's going to be very, very good. Now on to Fandango. He faced Santino. Now this is just a joke of a match, and all I will say about this is just because I think it's becoming a bit of a joke, and it's a toilet break match, so I'm not going to go on about it because it's just going to waste your time. Fandango won that match. End of conversation. Now, Mark Henry came out, and the interviewer, I don't know what her name is, basically interviewed Mark Henry and asked him, what about, last week? Do you feel it was, what do you feel about that? And he was saying, I'm not bothered about winning or losing tonight. The only thing I'm bothered about is, putting someone in the Hall of Pain. And quite frankly, it was a very, very good promo. That they definitely got you thinking that it's just going to be one hell of a fight. And it was against Roman Reigns as well. So, if you've listened to my further podcasts, I know that they're going to be building up Roman Reigns. And I think this is perfect. This was perfect for him to build Roman Reigns. And that's exactly what they did. They gave him a good match against Mark Henry. And he shined. In his wrestling ability, he was absolutely brilliant. The Samoan drop that he did with Mark Henry on his back, it was absolutely great technique. Great technique. It was not like a power-driven technique. It was just all pure technique on its own, which didn't require him to use any power. As such, he just basically lifted him and Samoa dropped him down, and it was absolutely perfect the way that he did the Samoa drop. And he continued and did the Superman punch, which is kind of a... The match didn't last long. That was a bit of a weird thing, but the Superman punch was definitely it looks kind of cool. There's no doubt about it. It does look cool. The whole lock and load. I'm gonna give him a Superman punch and boom, he's down. He does look cool. And then the spear! And then it was 1, 2, 3, and it was like, whoa. We've got some, we've got a star on our hands. It was like that, in my opinion. It was like, yeah, the star is here now. The star is on the horizon. He's moving upwards, and damn, that's, it's good to see. So finally, other than what's his name, John Cena getting the push, it's good to see that someone else is getting the push and getting pushed in the right direction, and hopefully will become the WWE World Heavyweight Champion and become a long-time champion in the future in the WWE. And hopefully he runs with the ball, and I'm sure he will, because he definitely seems as though and capable and confident in his own ability. And then Dean Ambrose decided that he wanted to feel jealous and beat on Mark Henry, and that's exactly what he did. He beat on him a little while and kicked him out of the ring and went outside, and then Roman Reigns was laughing at Dean Ambrose, saying, "Come on, man, we've already beaten the guy, come on, what are you doing?" And Dean Ambrose said, "This is what we do." And then suddenly out of nowhere the lights went out. And it wasn't Chris Jericho making his return, it wasn't. It was the Wyatt family. It was the strange and utter Wyatt family, the wonderful Wyatt family. And then, simply, all I can say is, Bray Wyatt and the other guys, they were they're genius, aren't they, really? They're a complete genius. Not. They were talking in tongue, and started to gibberish, and started going hoo goo da da, bing bong bo, poo poo la la, and I laughed, which was all good. It was good, and it was very Texas Chainsaw Massacre style, very, complete and utter stupid rambling, and then Bray Wyatt decided to ask the question, which was it all worth it? Was it all worth it? Was it all worth his whole sacrifice? quite frankly, no one knew what they were on about. And to top it off, one of the other guys spoke, which was even more funnier. And when he spoke, he decided to take it another field, man. He said, "Are you willing to die for it?" Not in that type of accent. He decided to go, "Are you willing to die for it?" Not even that. It was like, "Are you willing to die for it?" That's the way it was. And quite frankly, Roman Reigns just had enough and said, "Man, I want to see you guys come out. Let's fight, man. Stop talking this gibberish, man. Come on." And then out of nowhere, Bray Wyatt said, "You know what? This is exactly what I was thinking, my friends." And then they were on to the ring, on the way to the ring, walking with the weird music. And then Bray Wyatt decided to switch his lantern off and walk in the ring. And I have to say, this whole scenario of the Wyatts and the Shield, the way they both opposed each other, they've not even faced each other once. They've not, I mean, they have on one occasion, but they've not literally, fought each other. And just the whole showdown of them two guys coming out is like the Wild Wild West. Not the Wild Wild West, I mean the Wild West, where they're just going out and one of them's going down. And that is the way it feels. And when they both stood up in the ring, you think, yeah, man, they're gonna get some business, man. These guys are gonna fight. And then both teams, stand up at each other, and the Wyatts decide to walk out of the ring as usual, and that was good. I have to say, the Wyatts have done very, very well. I didn't like them at first, but they've grown on me. I think this whole tongue thing and this whole gibberish what Bray Wyatt talks, which is quite good. And then suddenly out of nowhere, the other guy decided to speak. That was good as well, and it just shows that I guess their weirdness is taken off, and it does look good. It looks good fun to see, and considering the fact that they got dropped by Daniel Bryan a few weeks back, now they're like in a big main match against the Shield, which is, I think, it definitely does great for the teams, and it's very, very good overall. And they can build a lot with this. They can do a lot. They can probably basically make Wyatt's one of the Wyatt guys to fight and the Undertaker in WrestleMania, or they can get Roman Reigns, like I said in my podcast about him. They should make him fight the Undertaker at WrestleMania. But regardless, they can do a lot of things with both of them. But it looks like as though that the Shield may split up. I think at the present time they don't know what they're doing, the WWE, so they're just playing it by ear. Okay, so in the back, Cody Rhodes and Goldust decided to cut a promo on the toys, WWE rings, the toys that you can buy, and it was a okay promo, I guess, with Goldust doing his hot thing, and suddenly out of nowhere, Bad News Barrett came out and said, "I've got some bad news," and then kicked the toys on the floor, and that was the end of the promo. And didn't even say a price or anything like that, or where to get it from. Was that even a promo for the actual, to buy the actual, toys? Was it really, or was it just their promo that they're gonna be fighting soon? I don't know. It's a weird thing. But anyway, Cody Rhodes and Goldust are not gonna be fighting each other in WrestleMania. That's good to see. I think this whole tag team division is stacked, and I think it's perfect. They can definitely do a good tag team match in WrestleMania with someone else. Who knows who it will be, but I'll tell you this, it's a good season for the tag teams, that's for sure. Okay, and now we had Jack Swagger and Kofi Kingston. Now this was like lamb being led to the slaughter, and that's exactly, the lamb was basically Kofi Kingston, and Jack Swagger basically more or less sat on him. It felt like he just basically pounded him away, and well, it was a decent match, I guess. But you actually did think for a second that, wait a minute, Kofi's gonna win this somehow, but no. Jack Swagger won it. They want the All-Americans to be pushed, which is good. And then out of nowhere, Biggie comes. Biggie comes because that's who Jack Swagger's gonna face in Elimination Chamber. And he faces two guys. He faces Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal. And I have to say, I don't agree with this type of thing where one guy fights two guys and they're trying to show how tough he is, etc. It diminishes guys' ability in terms of like Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal. I think, it's disrespectful to wrestlers, but I think that's the thing with wrestling. They need to respect some wrestlers and the craft in general, and the fact that they're facing them two guys is kind of annoying. And luckily for me, I had Zeb Coulter on the edge of a ring, talking smack on the microphone, and he had some funny comments. I have to say, he had some funny comments. I think the funniest thing what he said was that he's gonna. Jack Swagger's gonna do a beating on Biggie, and just like the Seahawks beat Denver in the Super Bowl, which is a funny line to see. Not that I support any, professional. Not professional wrestling. Not that I support any American football team. I just basically, it's just, a funny thing to say, really. Very, very, very funny. But in the end, we knew who won the match, and it was Biggie who won the match in the end. And he came out with a really bizarre comment at the end of the match when he was given the mic. He said, I hope they have, diapers your size, because it's not only going to be your mouth which is going to be talking a lot of crap on Sunday. So basically he's insinuating that he's going to end up pooing in his pants somehow. Okay, I guess that's funny. I get it. But it wasn't great though, was it? I guess he's trying, I guess he's trying, isn't he? Biggie's trying. He's a good guy. In terms of his wrestling ability, he is good, and his matches are exciting. So that's good to see. He's an explosive wrestler as well, which is good to see. And to be truthful, he's done better than Dolph Ziggler, isn't he? At least he's getting a bit of a push, and he's standing his ground. Whereas with Dolph Ziggler, what is going on with that dude? Anyway, not much. Clearly, unfortunately. Now, we had this next guy, this Russian guy, Alexander Rusov, and he was promoted with the lady on the side, and it just reminded me of 1990 wrestling, the 90s, early 90s wrestling, when it was like the Road Warriors, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, and all them days. Are we really coming to childlike wrestling where people actually believe that wrestling is real? I hope not. I really hope not. We saw this guy, Alexander Rusov, in the Royal Rumble. Besides that, we've not seen him anywhere else, but quite frankly, he just reminds me of, I can't remember, there was a Russian guy during that period where Lex Luger was going to be facing him, and he was supposedly one hell of a strong guy, and he was from Russia as well. And that's the same thing with this. It's getting a bit comedic in my opinion. Hopefully I think the wrestling is going that direction in terms of it's going to be more for kids. Hopefully not, in my opinion, but it's seeming as though it's going that direction. But then we had the best match of the day. It was John Cena versus Cesaro. Now this match was awesome. Absolutely awesome. I have to say, I couldn't take my eyes off this match. It was just jaw-dropping. It was just like, first of all, John Cena came out, and then he was talking smack to Cesaro, saying, I think he was saying like, "Are you ready?" or something like that, whatever it was. But quite frankly, it was a good physical match, and there was so much action going on. I can't, it's very difficult to. It's not very difficult to explain, but there was so much. I have to say, Cesaro, you could tell they worked very, very well. John Cena and Cesaro worked very, very well. I think John Cena kind of overacted, like Shawn Michaels did with Hulk Hogan. A little bit, just a little bit. But he did his job very, very well. And Cesaro gave him the flying uppercut, which was absolutely brilliant. And I thought his head was going to come off. Seriously, I thought John Cena's head's come off. Oh, no, not his head literally, but I thought, boom, because his legs went one direction and his head went the other direction. I thought, oh my gosh, this is bad. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, basically, Cesaro decided to do a suplex from the top rope, but John Cena was on the ring apron, and he just launched him. This is what I have to say. Cesaro is one hell of an underrated wrestler. I think Cesaro should be, in my opinion, if he doesn't make it big in the WWE, I think he should just go to MMA. He'll be bloody brilliant at it. I really do think that. I think he could be brilliant at MMA. He's a talent. He's definitely a talent, and he was a talent a long time ago, but now it's confirmed without a doubt. And then he did the spinning roundabout thing that he does and he did it to John Cena, and John Cena lasted about 10 spins, I think it was, but even he went for a ride as well, which was good to see. But in the end, John Cena won the match, and John Cena tried to steal the show by doing this, like a somersault thing and picking up Cesaro, which you have to give him benefit of a doubt. He's still trying. I mean, he doesn't really need to try. He's achieved everything he's achieved, but he's still trying. And he went and he did the somersault thing on the floor, and picked up Cesaro and did the FU, and the end of the match, which you knew it was going to happen. Well, actually, I didn't know who was going to win. That was the good thing about this match. It was like, is Cesaro getting the push? Is he gonna do what CM Punk? Is John Cena doing what CM Punk was supposed to do? Where basically he's gonna lay down on the floor on the mat and Cesaro's gonna take over. And clearly they didn't do that with John Cena. They just let John Cena win, which makes me think, why the hell was John Cena talking a lot of smack to Cesaro? Because quite frankly, Cesaro is just doing his job and he's not trying to go over on John Cena. He's, he basically laid down 1, 2, 3. But one thing I have to say is at the end of Raw, when Cesaro went in the back, everybody in the dressing room, they were applauding Cesaro for his efforts, and hopefully that will give him his big push that he needs. I really hope him all the best. He definitely needs it. He's very, very, talented wrestler, and I think he could be one of the big guys in the WWE in the future. Who knows? Hopefully he will be. And John Cena may take a break after that. Who knows? I mean, not like in general now. I mean, when Cesaro becomes big in the future. Okay. So, out of nowhere, Dave Batista was talking, well, no, Randy Orton was talking to Triple H and saying that, thank you for everything that you've done, and thank you for everything you're going to do in the future. And then he started to make fun of Dave Bautista, and then out of nowhere, behind him was Dave Bautista. And then Del Rio came, and Del Rio said, I'm gonna come, and I'm gonna rip your arms off. And then Dave Bautista looked at his arms and then gave him a push. And Triple H was like, come on, man, you can't do that over here. And Dave was like, I'm walking. And he just walked away. Seriously, I think Dave Bautista, he's feeling like he's out of place. And I do feel as though Dave Bautista is out of place. Generally, it's good to see him back, but I do feel as though it's like a new generation emerging in the WWE. It definitely felt like that today. Definitely felt like a new generation emerging in the WWE. And I think it's a perfect timing considering his WWE network is coming out. And I do feel as though Dave Bautista is just like a guy who's substitute teacher. He's just employed just to fit in, just to do his job and go home. And that is the case with Dave Bautista. He doesn't look happy anyway, in my opinion. And Del Rio, basically like a true pro, took the little push and pretended that he was hurt. And after he hit himself on the railing on the side. This was all in the back, it wasn't in the ring area, it was all in the back. And give him credit for both guys, for Del Rio and Dave Bautista. And it's going to be a good match to see, because we've not seen Dave Bautista in action, in proper wrestling action. And I have to say, Dave Bautista looks in good shape now. He looks better shape than he used to be when he was in the past. Looks a lot more explosive, that's for sure. But anyway, next match was Los Matadors and Sin Cara, or should I say fake Sin Cara, versus the Wyatts. Now, I have to say, I do hate this, the fact that they've got fake Sin Cara pretending that he's Sin Cara. That's just wrong. It's like replacing Rey Mysterio with some other dude and saying that that's Rey Mysterio, and just basically paying the other guy and taking all the money for the rights of Rey Mysterio. And I think when one person puts his heart and soul into a character, I think, if you just get like Hulk Hogan and you get a fake Hulk Hogan and say he's Hulk Hogan, and say that he's definitely Hulk Hogan, and then the other real Hulk Hogan's unemployed because of whatever reason, that's just wrong. You know what I mean? You've basically got rid of the real Hulk Hogan, and you've got a fake one and paying him less money. That's just wrong. When one guy puts all his work and effort into a character, you shouldn't basically take that away from him. But anyway, that's just business, I guess. What can you do? It's the WWE. And yes, it's Los Matadors versus Sin Cara versus the Wyatts. Now, we all knew that this match was just going to be one-sided beating, and that's exactly what it was. It was because, quite frankly, Los Matadors and Sin Cara, in terms of their weight, etc., they're quite less, and they're probably about 50 pounds or 100 pounds less than the other guys. And the other guys were just big and stronger, and they just used their brute force and pounded on them, and they won the match. It wasn't great to see, but it was a match nonetheless. Now, it was You Didn't Know. Hopefully, it was You Didn't Know, New Age Outlaws, and the Usos, and they were both at the ring side, but it was a singles competition match, and where Billy Gunn was facing Jey Uso, and they are going to be, I'm not too 100% sure, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to happen. In the Elimination Chamber, it's going to be the New Age Outlaws versus the Usos, and Billy Gunn, that's the reason why Billy Gunn was facing Jey Uso, and it was good to see their banter. I have to say, it was good to see Road Dogg and not Jey Uso, the other Uso, basically talking smack to each other, The other Uso was saying that, oh, I used to see my dad beat you up when I was younger. You guys, and I used to be huge fans of yours when I was really younger. And Road Dogg making fun of him, saying that you've got to be, show humility, etc. And quite frankly, they're not showing any humility, etc. And in the end, the Jey Uso won that match, and I have to say it's good to see the New Age Outlaws back. I think it's perfect timing for them, really. I think it's perfect timing to build the tag team division. I think now is the best time for WWE, I really do. They've got everything. They've got the singles matches stacked. You've got even a trifectas, the Shield and the Wyatts. You've got a trifecta over there as well. And you've got the tag team division, which is stacked. You've got the Usos, the New Age Outlaws, Cody Rhodes, etc. You've even got Jack Swagger and the Real Americans, and my gosh, you've got a lot of talent there. You've even got the Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara. Well, you did have them. You don't have the original Sin Cara now, but that is what you had. But anyway, that was the end of that. Now it was Sheamus versus Randy Orton, and I have to say, it was okay match, and which ended basically absolutely poo ending, because, well, you knew that was going to happen though. But it was a good match to see, because quite frankly, Randy Orton did something I never thought he would do. He actually lifted up Sheamus and back body dropped him through the announce table. Who would have thought Randy Orton would be able to do such a talented move like that? I did. He is a very talented wrestler. It's just, he doesn't push himself in terms of his ability wise, and but he's shown that he can do a lot more than just just technical wrestling. He can be a powerhouse and use his athletic ability as well. And the ending of the match was when the Shield came out and started to beat on Sheamus, and they started to beat on Sheamus, and then John Cena came out, and then Daniel Bryan came out, and then they were all fighting each other. And then Cesaro came out, and then we had Christian come out as well, and then the lights went out, and guess who came out? It was the Wyatts, and the Shield, which were in the middle of a ring when the lights came up, and they started to fight each other, which was good to see. Like, yeah, come on, man, go fight each other, who's gonna win? But then John Cena and all them lot started to intervene as well, and started to beat on the Shield. It was like, wait a minute, that's just too much, man. You gotta give them a bit of space, But then that was the end of Raw. But I have to say, what a hell of a night it was. What a hell of an end it was as well of Raw. I have to say, it's a great time to be a wrestling fan at this present time. Next week is gonna be the WWE Network, and it is awesome. It's awesome, considering $120 for the year, and you get 12 pay-per-views with it. You get a whole big library. My gosh, that's just robbery, isn't it, for the WWE? It is amazing, I have to say. And it's going to be launching next week, so hopefully the WWE isn't just doing it just because of this launch. Hopefully they are consistent in terms of their programming, and continue to build those new stars instead of just relying on Randy Orton. They have a whole load of talent now. They have the Shield, they have Roman Reigns, they have Cesaro, they have Sheamus, they have Daniel Bryan, they have the Usos. They have so much talent out there. Build them up, make them better, and my gosh, we're going to have an awesome WrestleMania. And we've got the Ultimate Warrior as well coming back in WrestleMania. Who would have thought? Okay, that's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast, and let me know what you think. Add any comments. Subscribe, like, share. Please do me that favor. And I'm very grateful for you to listen to this. Thank you again. And peace out. And peace!